It's Real Fit Radio with B
and J.LOU.
If this is your first time listening, welcome. And if you're a returning listener, welcome back.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Roadblocks don't bother me. They just mean that I'm alive and running. I don't remember where I heard that quote from. I just thought it was really good, though.
Okay. I'll have to meditate on that one. Only thing I could think of right at the top of my head is pain is a reminder that you're living. Like something like that. That's why I don't know why I feel like that, because it's like I'm alive and running, so I'm going to encounter roadblocks. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I always look at it like this. If something is an obstacle, you're either one or two things. Either you haven't got over the test that you keep getting repeatedly because you're not passing it, or you passed the test before and now you're on the next level. It's always obstacles, no matter how much success or level-mindedness you obtain. It doesn't matter. I don't remember who said it, though, but it was pretty cool when I heard
it. Yeah. I know I have an aha moment. I might come back to you this week and be like, you know what? That thing that you said on the podcast, remember that? And I'll have some epiphany or something, or it's applicable to something that's happened. But it's food for thought. It's a seed planted. May get watered later. Yeah. So we're here, and it is Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. The weeks are flying by, and I don't know if I'm like happy about it or I'm just like, it is what it is. But we're here and we're getting this podcast done. It is something that we are committed to doing, even when it's just like, I'm tired. Grandmothers, my hat goes off to them. I don't know how they do it. Like, you see it and it's like magical. But cooking, and they're doing pies and cakes and mac and cheese, 2 pans of that, the ham, turkey, like all that stuff. I didn't even do all that. I was in the kitchen today, and when I finally finished, it just was like, okay, this is a lot. You tired.
I think you just have to ask them, what do they get from doing it like that? Because my grandmother used to do it like that. I don't necessarily know if she said she was super tired from doing it all. I just think she was excited that the whole family was coming together. So it didn't matter about all the food and how tired she was. But bringing it together and watching it being done, yeah, I definitely think she was probably gassed from all that shit.
How was your arm feeling from grating all that cheese?
I ain't like it. My shoulders hurting. I'm finna get this massage gun and get all the knots out of my shoulder. I already have a bad right shoulder from, I don't even know where it came from, but that moving back and forth consistently, shredding that damn cheese, and that's something simple. That wasn't even nothing super difficult. I don't even want to think about putting some food in there and making sure I season it right.
It looked like you had a rhythm going though.
I did, but it was hurting still.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you moving quick. Would you experience cutting your finger with the grater?
Not today, no.
I'm going to look this week because I know a lot of stuff will be on sale. They've got to have an electric one where you just put a hunk of cheese in there and it just grates it for you.
I'm sure they do.
Oh, I'm going to find it because that's what I'm not going to do anymore. It's like, why? Grate the cheese and I don't have to. Let the machine do the job for me. Make stuff easier. Technology.
That's what it's here for. Make our lives easier. Just don't overconsume it.
Yeah, it can get a little crazy. Well, today we're doing more of a deep dive, just having an open dialogue about a couple of different things. There's not a set topic, just some interesting things that I've seen, and feel free to jump in, Lou, if it's something that you want to bring to the forefront that we haven't discussed prior to us turning the mics on.
Freestyling today.
Yeah, no, it's just we freestyle all the time.
I know that.
I mean, I usually have a topic in my head a few minutes before the mic, or I might have been thinking about stuff, mulling over something like, we're going to talk about that, but I don't tell you. But it's just open right now. One of the things I've been thinking about is holidays are a time where they put so much emphasis on it. You should be with your family, and this is the time to call a person you haven't spoken to in a while and cook and be together. It can be so much pressure. I feel so bad because this is a time, because of the standard or the anticipation of what the holidays are supposed to be like, people begin to feel lonely or look at their situation like, I don't have a family, or I don't have people to be around, or even people that are here that can't go home with this whole pandemic thing. It's like, I'm over COVID. But they just said they were signing something now with the quarantine. The mayor has something you have to sign when you're coming into LA. So 14-day quarantine. I don't know the whole ins and outs of it as of yet, but there's something that they're rolling out, and I'm just about over the rollouts, so just sending a lot of positive energy and hugs and inspiration to people that have a really hard time around the holidays because of the expectation of you should be with family. Feel like it doesn't have to just happen around the holidays. If you love somebody or you have a relationship where you want that relationship to thrive and be strong, you should be communicating with them throughout the other 364 days, not this one, which makes 63, but the other 364 days of the year. You can work on that relationship. You can have dinner with them. You can meet every Sunday and have dinner. You guys can do fun things, play games. It doesn't have to happen on Thanksgiving or Christmas. So yeah, I've been thinking about that because it's just like, man, this is sad.
Kind of remind us how we do our birthdays. I don't feel any neglect if I don't get stuff on my birthday because you give me so much throughout the year. So it's like when my birthday comes, I don't really care if you got me them. I receive so many different things, whether it's a cool dinner or a cool gadget. It's all throughout the year. So it alleviates the pressure of having to put it on yourself, which is the person who's going out there, I got to figure out what I'm going to get such and such. It's their time. Nah. If you continue to do that, it just helps you be like, oh, okay, well, this really works for people who are not really understanding. That's not the word I want to use, but people who are, yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. That's it. Yeah, no, the people who are appreciative of just your efforts like throughout the year, they won't even trip because it's like, man, they've been showering me all year. I'm surprised they even had anything left to give me on my birthday. So that's how I feel about things like if I'm hollering at you all year long, it's just another day for you. If I say, hey, what's good with you? I ain't even got to say happy Thanksgiving because I've been talking to you all year long. So it's, oh, hey, what you doing over there? Y'all watching the game? Nah, we ain't doing that, but we over here eating it. It's boring. Whatever. It's just casual conversation, but it's not all this pressure on you like, I got to make sure I reach out to auntie, whatever your aunt name is, or your uncle, or whoever it is that you ain't heard from all year. It shouldn't have to be like that. You shouldn't have to put all that pressure on yourself to do that, and vice versa. Whoever it is that's trying to talk to you, it shouldn't be like that. But people do it all the time, every year.
Yeah, no pressure.
I ain't really feel no pressure.
If you haven't checked out the EP that I continue to mention at the end of our most recent podcast, you won't know the reference to that. So Transcendence, check it out.
Oh, yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. It's doing really well. I don't ever really brag on anything that I've put my hands on, but I really can see the growth in all my projects. I've been doing music for a while, and I tend to go back and listen to everything that I've done. And not to say that my old projects were bad or anything. It's just that you can see the maturity and the growth in the music. And that's all you can ask for as an artist is when you're listening to your own body of work, or when your audience or your fan base grew up with you from the first time they heard your music on to 5 years in, 10 years in. They like, man, this dude she just keeps getting better and better. That's how I feel about Transcendence. And anybody that listen to it, I do it not just for myself, but to give gems to the people in the world, to let them know I empathize and I can resonate with whatever it is you're going through. And hopefully that my stories and experiences that I put in my songs can do something to touch you. And you like, oh man, I'm not the only one that goes through this. This dude is really speaking my language, and that's my goal. So obviously, it's not for everybody. I don't intend for it to be, but the people who it's for, you definitely will get a treat with that. So
it's a lot of depth in the album, and I'm a very hard critic.
Oh yeah.
If everybody was in here right now, I'm like, I'm not
She
your
will
mother.
tell you your shit is
I'm
no
not
good
your
in a
wife. I am a critic. I don't know if you use the word growth,
minute. I
but
did.
it's so many things in there that are relatable, and also just your expression of things that you've encountered. You can tell when you say an artist, it's like how wine ages, gets seasoned. You can tell you're transitioning into that, like you've been here for a while and you're not talking about the same thing. And you can hear it. It's a lot of depth to the album. It's available on all major platforms. J.LOU Transcendence EP. It's fire. No pressure.
And last but not least, I do a breakdown for every song that I've done thus far. So all the songs on Transcendence actually has a lyrical breakdown that's on YouTube, and you can find it at JLou the artist. So J.LOU the artist, and you can check out all the lyrical breakdowns, all the lyric videos. That's what that's for. So yeah.
And the lyrical breakdown is giving you some insight into what you're talking about. There's some double entendres there. There's some stuff that's mentioned where you're like, what is he talking about? I'm always that person when I hear something. It's like, what does that mean? Or who is that? If you mention a person, the lyrical breakdowns are breaking down the complex parts, where I think the ones you specifically chose for different songs were like parts that you might have felt like this might kind of go over somebody's head because, you know, this is something I'm talking about, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they know what this is. I find those to be really cool. I like the lyric videos, but the lyrical breakdowns give me so much more insight into not only what you were talking about specifically, but why you wrote it and the emotion as an artist for that song. Because sometimes you're like, is this a love song? You know, is he talking about a girl? Or what happened here? Somebody must have did him wrong, or, you know, he must have lost money here or whatever. But when you start breaking it down and you hear it from the artist, I think that's pretty dope. So those are things that I enjoy watching, because even though we're here together, when you do those lyrical breakdowns and I watch them, I still get some insight too on different stuff, because it's not planned, it's raw. So I'm just like, oh, that's dope. Or I just get to really go and look even a little deeper with you, because you just reaching when you're connecting with your audience and talking to them about what prompted you to even write about this specific thing, the title of the song, whatever you choose to talk about. Is like really cool. So yeah, you guys, you know, definitely check that out. I like good music. I love a good beat, and I listen to some stuff from time to time where I'm like, if they could just be quiet, because this beat is going to get me through this workout, but they're saying some garbage stuff, and you hear that on the radio, it's just like getting played, the marketing of it. I just told Josiah, that's our son, the other day, Big Sean's album, man, Big Sean, like, he kind of tricked people, because I've heard some of Big Sean's mainstream singles, and the beats are fire, but he's, you know, talking about some mainstream stuff where there's sex or whatever. But man, that little, I'm having a brain freeze here. A sabbatical. He was gone for a minute. Oh, I know there were some mental health things, and we checked out for a minute. Wow. Deep reverence and respect. I think it's respect, man. Just on repeat. I mean,
I like Lucky Me.
But the bars, though, when I hear bars, and then Ace Hood.
Confidence.
Yeah, but Ace Hood, he slides some little stuff in there, and if you don't catch it, he's a little sneaky. Big Sean is just hitting you. It's like if you were in the ring with a boxer, you just getting toe up by Big Sean. He boom, 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 he just hitting you. Ace Hood will say some relatable stuff to the masses, then he'll slide some stuff in there. You like, what? I like Ace Hood. Ace Hood and Big Sean right now are two of the artists where I just was like, okay. And then they're mixing stuff up now too, because another one, when I'm on my Go Get It, Young and May. Young and May, she's another one. She tricks you, because she gonna bang a little bit. She gonna say her, she gonna talk her shit. One of the
females I'm proud to have my windows down and jam her shit. I'll be, I'm jamming.
Don't hit my phone. I love the way
I think she got like 3 songs where she's like, don't hit my line. It's like, yeah, she real serious about motherfuckers not hitting her phone.
Oh, I feel her though. I resonate with that. Savage Mode, Bad Bitch Anthem. Those are my, ooh. I love it, because she's got that mix of it where, and I know she did it on purpose. A pet peeve of mine is somebody that's singing the lyrics to a song and it's like, I know what you got going on in your life. Stop singing that. That don't even like line up with what you doing. But she talks about the the stuff she got going on, but she has 0 time for bull, and I love it. Don't hit my phone. I love when she says that, because I feel that way. Like, don't hit my line. Do not call me with the extra. When she said, when you leave me alone. Don't hit my phone. And another one who is crazy. So he comes with some ratchet stuff, but he drops some gems in there, but not on the level of them. I would put him right over there. Honestly, Tory Lanez and Drake are in the same. It's mainstream. They have some stuff in there. You catch it, but they constantly telling their story about what they got their money. You're not going to do me like this. And Drake called himself, was the king of petty. I was just like, wow, you know what you're going to get when you listen to Drake or Tory Lanez. You know, like we just putting this on. But those other ones I mentioned, throw in some food for thought. They going to have you like, yeah, I'm gonna talk. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. It's relatable for me. But yeah, you're an artist.
I got too many to name, man. I'll be all over the place. Royce the 5'9", he's one that I listen to from Slaughterhouse. Sometimes I gotta go back because some of these cats is not making music consistently. Not because they can't, but just because they eating off what they already did. I listen to my old favorites, man. Jada Kiss, Style P. My bad, Styles. I should have added that S on the back. Styles P. Obviously Jigga. Nas put out a new album, you know, so
Can't Get Nothing By Me, My Mind is in 2090.
Yeah,
I like that little line.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we be jamming all kinds of music. She might catch some music while she in her whip and she'll share it with me, vice versa. So we hip hop heads, but we like all kinds of music.
Everything.
So it's just that I think hip hop or rap is speaking more, and I'm talking about the people who talking about shit. And that's no disrespect to y'all who over there doing y'all lane. Hey man, do what you do, but you know,
whatever gets you through
gets
you through the day. I believe like with music, it transfers energy. I think when you have good artists, you can, well, all of it, you can get energy from it. But I just think for us, the reason why I'm on those specific artists that I mentioned, yeah, because I feel like I'm pushing through something. Because before this, and even now, we haven't really put on our movie scores. Lou has a whole thing of movie scores. Then you have a whole eclectic playlist. And then it might be like all classical or his Hans Zimmer playlist. But right now, it seems like we're staying in that same one because you want to get up with the energy and it's like, yeah, I'm going to go get it. I'm going to do what I need to do. I don't care. And I just feel like just with everything going on, that's where I'm at. I don't really want to listen to anything else. Even the R&B, I usually stay on my R&B playlist, but I haven't really been wanting to be over there. I keep going back to my workout, my go get it grind. And maybe that's just the state of mind because it's not even like we're out there. It's just like, I'm just going to stay focused. And now those particular artists are feeding me like that.
I completely concur with what you said because even in the 90s, not the ongoing joke because nobody's making a joke about it anymore, but I do recall where I've seen some things where it's like, yeah, it was hard to get into a fight in the 90s because that was the R&B era. You had all the boy bands and singing groups, some of the independent singers or whatnot all through the 90s, and they was just singing about love and losing a girl or keeping a girl and having fun. So it was hard to be in that era of I'm angry. This last 3 to 5 years, well, I could say for me, it's just been pure grind mindset. It's the combination of the climate where I'm at in my life. I think when you combine those two things, it's hard for me to listen to softer sounding things at this moment. And I still do because I just love music. So I will listen to a whole bunch of genres and I add it to my playlist. But like you said, where I'm at right now is I just keep going back to these artists or these different songs that's inspiring somehow. They're telling their truths and it just keeps you going in such a way where it's like, all right, I'm feeling some type of way. Let me throw this on. I hear you when you working out, you throw on Young M.A. and then you throw Most High on by Tory Lanez. You got your whole playlist and then you ready to attack your day. So I just think all that stuff comes to a head where it's like, all right, I got to figure out what I'm going to do to elevate myself. And I think that music plays a part in it.
I can't go without music.
Nah, man.
I need it. I can't see myself not. I mean, even when I don't have the words, I can go and listen to somebody else's words. And it's like, that's how I feel right now. It's a beautiful thing. And it is universal. It's beautiful. I want to make a public service announcement to all dog owners.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I just thought about this. So I don't know. We have a dog and
what up, Hugh?
Yeah, he is a third child with his energy, and we can see that he's taken on like traits of each and every one of us. We've had him since he was a baby. Someone was giving him away. They thought they could keep him, and they didn't. And they were asking, "Can somebody take him? Can somebody take him?" And we ended up taking him. And he is hilarious. But what I want to say to dog owners, because I've had a very disturbing experience a day or so ago. So we don't take Houston to dog parks. This is just my take on it. I think that even the nicest dogs can have off days, or they may come in contact with another dog that might invoke anger or have them act in a way that you may not have ever witnessed the whole time you've had your pet. So I just feel like we can't forget that they're still animals. I think that there's some people like walking around and they feel like they have complete control of their dog because of the relationship they have. So for example, they'll like walk with their dog off a leash in a shopping center or by the bank, anything. And it's really crazy. Even if they're small dogs, it's just, you got to remember, just because for the time you've had your dog, there's never been a problem and they're so well behaved, or they don't need a leash because they'll follow me anywhere. That doesn't mean that they're not impeding on someone else's space, or other people are as alert or have that same type of feeling towards your dog. And I say all that to just tie back into disturbing experience. There was a pit bull, and I guess there was like a small, he wasn't really small, it's like a medium-sized dog, but I was at the bank and I don't know if the dog startled the pit bull, but the dog wasn't on a leash, but he locked on him, and it just got crazy after that. One owner's trying to get her dog to let go of the little dog. The owner of the little dog is screaming, and then a crowd forms and they're like, get a knife, hitting the dog, kicking him while the owner's there. Then a shovel came out. It was crazy. When everything settled, everybody's like over by the little dog, and I was just trying to see how the big dog was, because he got hit with shoes. I believe the crowd was so huge you couldn't see him fully. I believe he was hit with the shovel. I know he was cut because he had multiple cuts on his face, but my heart was just like, wow, that quick. The guy yelled, get a knife, get a shovel. They were going to do whatever damage they could to that dog because he attacked the smaller dog. But they're both animals. I'm glad that I wasn't in that situation with that happening to our dog, but I know that I would not have tried to harm the other dog because you just didn't know what was going on. He was sprayed in the eyes because after the police came and a lady yelled and was like, just throw water on him, he'll let go. She was enraged. Someone actually got some water and threw it on the dog and he let go. When I looked at the dog, he looked like a child that didn't understand what had just happened. He really looked confused, and he was bleeding from his mouth. He had cuts on his face. His eyes were red. And one of the ladies came up with like a gallon of water from out of the store, and she's like, here, could you put this on him? She passed it to one of the pet groomers because he actually had just come from the pet groomer. And so the pet groomers ran down there and they know the dog as well. So they were trying to help out. But she's like, I sprayed him in the eyes and his eyes were going to be puffy. And in that moment, it was so apparent to me how selfish it is for people to impose. We domesticate dogs, and then it's like, you're going to act this way. You're going to behave this way. And if you don't, there's a consequence, because the owner of the smaller dog was like, your dog needs to be put down. So now it's like your dog needs to die because he bit or he latched onto my dog. And in my feelings towards the whole situation, it was unfortunate what happened. If it had been our dog, and first of all, our dog would have been on a leash. She was walking with her dog, and I'm sure she just felt like, oh, it's my dog. He's so friendly. He'll never hurt anybody. But there are other dogs out there. That's equivalent to us saying the kids, when they're little, they're so great, but there are people in the world that'll do bad things to children. Mm-hmm. So you have to be aware and understand it's just not your little la-la land that you're in. You have to be considerate of others and think about their other dogs that it may startle them. It could have been a scent, anything at all. It was just a lot. So I was able to go back to the groomers, and I found out he actually was a rescue. So I don't even know what traumatic experience he could have had before he was actually rescued by who his owner is now. So yeah, it was messed up. So I'm saying this, if you have a dog, be considerate. Don't just act as if your dog exists in your little world, because it's little compared to the big world we live in. Don't be that person. I would say anticipate or hypothetically think about that your dog could have an off day, that they could startle another dog. There could be something that happens that is out of the norm. Kids do it to us all the time. Like, I never would have thought my kid would have done that.
Yeah.
Think about that with your dog. And we can communicate with kids. We actually speak the same language. Dogs do not speak the same language that we do. And I think some people are walking around thinking, oh, we got it. So just think about that. Don't be a part of an issue that could have been prevented. Keep your dog on a leash. Be aware of your surroundings. And I've seen that too, where people will have their dogs. We've taken Houston over for doggy daycare before. We're standing outside to pass them off, and someone's coming with their dog, and it's like, oh, this is our dog. Her name is Twinkie. Is he friendly? While the dog is still inching towards our dog. And I'm just like, you're asking, but you're allowing your dog to come over. But if something happens, it's like, oh my God, what's going on? And it's just like, it's just so intrusive. It is. It's a lot.
They're invading someone's personal space.
And they're almost wanting you to be like, accept this. My dog's coming over. Figure it out. Hope your dog's friendly. Go on. But if your dog, then it's the problem. Don't be that person. If you are that person, shame on you. Shame on you for thinking that you're so entitled that you can go and just take over a whole space and do whatever you want, regardless of the other dogs in the area or that may be in the area, or just feel like you better adapt real quick because my dog wants to be friendly. My dog wants to come and sniff your dog. My dog wants to come and get all in their face. No,
it don't work like that.
No, it doesn't. And I mean, I really feel bad for that pit bull. They said that he's a good dog. They said he comes there all the time for years. He's been coming there and he gives kisses. And these are the people in the groomers. They were like, he's never, ever done that. Never. So they said we were shocked, but he was a rescue. So yeah, don't be that person. Don't, please. And if you are, you're whack. You were so whack, for real. That's so mean because some of that stuff can be prevented. Just imagine if she had a leash on her dog and she was paying attention, not allowing her dog just to walk. She probably was like texting or something. Because I've seen it. We've seen people.
That quick of a moment where stuff can change.
But we've seen that with people with their kids. Like, where's the kid is walking way ahead. Little kids are way behind. So yeah, that was. It's a bit much, but I'm glad that they said that they would see him again. He was okay, and they talked to the police, and the police were like, yeah, it's two animals. You know, he didn't bite a person. I just was thinking if I were the owner, I would just agree to put a muzzle on him. I don't like those, but just to appease, as a consequence of what happened, but not putting my dog down. Yeah, I don't know if it could have got physical with me and the lady if we were in that situation.
Yeah, I think there would have been a couple of choice words of somebody talking about go grab a knife.
Oh, they came out with he was cut in the face.
Yeah, we would have been throwing hands.
Yeah, it would have gotten physical because my thing is, so he's got him locked on and you'll stab him or do whatever to let him off. But this is somebody's dog. I can't even imagine the owner. She was just standing there. She looked how the dog looked, pretty much just overwhelmed. She kept making sure she was checking on the other dog.
By all
the mob.
Hecklers.
The mob, yeah. And as soon as it died down, it was just like, but that's pretty much all I have to to talk about right now. Yeah, there's not anything else. I'm looking forward to some sleep. And
you look tired.
I am. It's almost 11 o'clock. We're in Los Angeles, California. And I'll be starting early tomorrow to actually start to cook some food. It's already been prepped and some other things I need to do because it's still a regular day, but we're going to have some family friends over. But I hope you guys are just enjoying yourselves. If you have some time off, because a lot of people have gone back to work. So I hope you're enjoying maybe an extra day off if you had a half day today and then you have Thanksgiving off. And if you got Friday off and it goes into the weekend, yay! Enjoy that. Get some rest. Be good to yourself. Self-care is overlooked and underrated. And I hope I said that right because it's like you take care of everybody else and not yourself. So yeah, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Get some rest. Don't be bullied into having to do something you don't want to do. Sometimes people are like, you're not coming by. Some people are house hopping.
No, I ain't.
Yeah, they call it house hopping. They're going to have to, you better come by here. So you trying to drive to every house and say hello, give a hug, spend a little time. And no, if you just want to sleep in, people that love you, even though they like, I want to see you, it's like, I just need some rest because I don't even have the energy to give to the other people. Sometimes you need to do that because just being around other people, there's an exchange of energy that's happening. So don't be afraid to take care of yourself. And if somebody doesn't understand, shame on them too.
I don't have too much to add to that other than just saying I remember you sharing something with me. It was a clip. It was just along the lines of when you are waking up, you giving 120%, whatever it is that you're giving that to, and you wake up again the next day and you're giving that same 120%, and you do it for several days, weeks, months at a time, and you realize, or you thinking in your mind that there is no progression. All I want you to do, if you're one of those people, because we all go through it, is just continue to do that. Because with you not thinking that there is no progression, there is, whether it's creating a habit for yourself or it's something that's accumulating and you just can't see it because it's behind the scenes. I know a lot of times we get caught up in what's being seen on the scoreboard, but a lot of times that work in the gym, and I don't necessarily mean the gym, it's really a double entendre. You actually have some things that are working for you. So if you guys are feeling like you're giving 120%, you're like, fuck, I'm waking up every day, I'm giving it all I got, and it just seemed like I'm having to wake up and do it again, and I don't see any progression. My money is not increasing. My body is not changing. Whatever it is, I don't know what your thought process is. I don't know what your struggles are. But if you guys have an issue where you feel like that, don't hesitate to shoot us an email. I will respond to it, and we can just go back and forth with a dialogue, because we're human. We all have those moments. And that's all I wanted to add. And like she said, enjoy your time off. Don't let the times of whatever your mandate is in your specific city, state, country with the situations, continue to do the best you can, because that's kind of like sports, specifically football. You come line up, you got a play that you're going to run. Coach told you this is what we're going to do, and then all of a sudden the defense shows you something totally different that can shut down the play you had planned. Guess what you have to do? You got to call an audible. So let's just get better at adjusting and calling audibles and not letting the outside things that we cannot control dictate what we do. Be in control at all times.
If you've been listening for a while and you continue to listen to us, you're going to learn more about sports than you ever have, because Lou is going to use a sports analogy, a word, something. So these are fun little gems like, what's an audible? What's this? What's that? And you can go and look it up. But I have learned more about sports when I married him, because he can tie it into anything, anytime, any type of conversation we're having. He could tie it. He's like, when you boxing, when you play ball, if you're the point guard, like, okay. So he's able to tie it in, but it's a good thing. I always like fresh information. It's pretty cool. It's one of the things it's like I get excited about. If you want to keep this conversation going, you guys know what to do. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggested topics, you can shoot us an email at realfitradio@gmail.com. Our podcast drops every Monday. You can catch the latest snippet on our Instagram at realfitradio. If you're not following us, you definitely should be. Hope you guys have an amazing holiday. As always, we hope this inspires